Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube, folks. We are talking CKB in today's video. But before we get started, check me out on Twitter at Real6Fig. This is where I'm dropping news, charts, upcoming videos when we're going live, and bits of news I find interesting. So back to the charts we go. What is going on this morning? We are seeing a nice price pump as predicted. The last week I've been kind of speculating this November 4th to November 5th date, noon on November 4th to noon on November 5th. And we can see that this morning we had quite the nice pump, and we are sitting above the 2-cent level. And I want to just emphasize how important this is right now, because at the time of this video, we are 26 minutes away from the daily candle close. And if we can close above this 2-cent level, this might be huge for price action. So we can see the symmetrical triangle did squeeze this price action to the upside, and that is a good thing because the only other way is to be squeezed to the downside. And that's kind of what I was worried about for a second there. Now, we can see that this squeeze is relevant. We can see that the lows are continually getting higher, and we can see that the highs are getting higher. So I do think that price action is waiting for permission for this daily candle to close before it makes its next move. Now, let's look at this thing. We can see that we are still in a very nice, healthy uptrend. Dating back to the end of September. So this is great to see, and I do think that this uptrend is really nothing steep, nothing to get excited about, but as long as it is in the right direction, we are sitting pretty. So the 2.022 cent level has been a huge problem for CKB's price action to really kind of climb over, and we can see that because we have some resistance, fighting all the way back to June 5th at these levels. So it did act as a halfway decent support level for a very small amount of time. Bear with me 1 second here. And we can see that here, but obviously we just did not have the base built up to hold these kind of price tags. But now it's kind of looking like we might. And we might, in fact, have some sort of ascending triangle that is forming out here. It's really tough to tell at this point in time because on a grander scale, I think that there is another ascending triangle that is forming. If this fails at these levels and we see price action kind of wander back down to the 0.013, 0.014 level, somewhere in there, don't get all sad because that is like our safety net trend line. And I do think that this might be an option to build out this base a little bit stronger. And then once we see a stronger setup, we will see stronger results to the upside. But I'm thinking right now that that won't happen. And here's why. Because we have just a killer inverse head and shoulders. We've got the killer cup and handle, folks. I know I've been mentioning this for quite a while. We do have Wyckoff charting present, and the formations are looking very similar to some of the Wyckoff patterns. And as suspected, I do think that we are in Phase D. If you're interested in looking over Wyckoff, go check out Crypto TA. He has a great video with CKB and the Wyckoff pattern. Very fascinating to say the least. So right now, I would expect that we kind of just wander right up into this little triangular formation here where this point will squeeze price action. Now, months ago, maybe a month or two ago, I was saying how important November 8th is going to be for CKB. And this is still relevant. I do think that November 8th is definitely going to be a pivotal moment in time for CKB price action, quite possibly. So, with that said, we really do have a lot going for us. We are set up and heading in the right direction, even though the bears stripped this candle back down to the 2-cent level. I think as long as we can see this candle close above 2 cents, that will be nice and bullish. And I do think that we are avoiding this cloud on the 12-hour chart with some tenacity. So this is great to see a nice bullish setup possibly forming above the cloud. When that happens, good things happen, especially on these larger time frame charts like a daily chart or a 12-hour chart. Weekly chart, you get the drift. So, I mean, there's a lot going on right now, and I do think that we are seeing a lot of similarities, like I mentioned pretty much in every video, from this point in time here to this point in time here. So, I mean, it's anybody's guess at this point, but if you had to ask me, I would say that we are very close to seeing price action maybe start trying to run up here. Not financial or trading advice, just my own personal opinion. We can see that on the daily chart. RSI is sitting at a cool 61, which means that we have plenty of room to run up. Let's look at the weekly, because we don't really look at the weekly too much on this. Of course, there is no data. Looks like 57. So again, on the weekly chart, this thing has plenty of gas in the tank for it to run. You can see on the weekly chart, this is kind of interesting too. Came down, bounced off the 50 moving average, and now we are setting up to pass through the cloud. On the weekly chart, we can see the evidence of a symmetrical triangle that is forming. So bear with me 1 second here. This is very evident, and you can see where November 8th really comes into play here. So like I said, November 8th is going to be a nice day for CKB. I do think it's going to be an important day for CKB, I do think. So put that on your calendars to watch for November 8th, maybe give or take a day or two. So Nervous Network, folks, has got a lot of good things going. Godwoken's on the test net right now. Developers can now get some exposure to that, so that is a good thing. And we are seeing the squeeze out of this symmetrical triangle, so just buckle in for the ride. I think it's going to be a good one at this point. So I think that's really all I'm going to talk about today with Nervous Network. We just need to kind of wait and see what happens. Wait for this daily candle close, and I will update you guys later on if I see anything crazy. So big shout out to all the Patreons. It's just $3 a month if you'd like to get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name up on this banner to show your support for the 6 Fig Stock Trader YouTube channel. We can do that. So hope you guys all have a wonderful day.